Congressman, I hear how passionate you are about combating anti-Semitism on college campuses. Have you had the opportunity to talk yet with Education Secretary Miguel Cardona?
I have not yet. I know that Ed and Labor has spent a lot of time tackling that. I don't have the privilege of serving on that committee. I really think it's kind of useless to talk to any secretary in this administration at this point. I mean, we're in an election year. It's a silly season where you're not going to get any concrete action. You're going to get lip service, especially if you're a Republican in the majority of the House trying to call on the administration to do anything. But the president, he can't have it both ways. You can't be anti-Semitism and pro-Hamas protesters. These are Hamas protesters. These are people that are saluting the efforts of a terrorist organization that brought hell down on one of our greatest allies in the world. And the fact that on an American college campus, and sadly on many American college campuses in a growing number, that this is going on is something that all Americans should be ashamed of.
Like you said, this is unrest that has spanned the nation. President Biden did respond to it on Thursday. He said that hate speech and violence in relation to the protesters, he completely condemned that. He also said that these protests are not going to change his policy when it comes to Israel or Gaza. What do you make of his response?
Well, listen, Israel is our greatest ally in the Middle East and arguably our greatest ally in the world. I mean, they're a beacon of freedom and hope. The president needs to stand with them. He can't knuckle under because he's worried about his electoral, fortunes in Michigan and where with Muslim voters, he cannot turn on Israel. I mean, we need him to stand strong there and stay there. And I mean, if President Trump gets in, it'd be the same situation. We need to. There can't be an inch between Israel and the United States. That is a bond that cannot be broken. So I would hope that the president stands strong with Israel, and he should condemn every iota of anti-Semitic behavior that's going on these campuses, and frankly, call for law and order. That's what this country wants is to again appreciate the rule of law. We have to have consequences to actions, and in some of these blue states, like the state I live in New York, and have the honor to represent, politicians have eroded the rule of law. We don't have bail, cash bail. People don't have to worry about the actions having consequences. And you're seeing that manifesting on these college campuses. And I fear that in a state like New York, it's going to be worse in a New York or California than it is going to be in a Florida or Georgia, where those protesters, those disruptors are going to pay a price because there still is consequences for actions in those states where people know if you're going to get an appearance ticket, walk away, you're probably never going to go back, and there's nothing that the officials can really do about it. Sad.